So let me introduce myself as Srikanth Rathod and I'm an EmSAT instructor. So today, I decided just to give you like an EmSAT about how to prepare for the EmSAT. But then I thought it could be very small topic to discuss. Then I just thought let's just give a brief introduction about the EmSAT and including like how you can prepare yourself. So this is what the today's topic is: introduction to the EmSAT. EmSAT is a standardized test. It's a computer-based test based on the United Arab Emirates national standards. It means this test is used only for getting admissions into the UAE colleges based on the UAE's national standards. So every country has their own requirement into their test syllabus and their curriculum and all. This test is according to the UAE's standard. So the test sections here, as it is a computerized, the test sections, questions and the options are randomized. Let's take if there are like 10-15 students are sitting in a one exam hall, different, like everybody get the different questions because this is an computerized, and this we also say EmSAT exam is an computer adaptive test. So meaning of that computer adaptive here is every student who are sitting will be getting different questions and they will be answering to the different types of question. No student get it like a similar. Of course, if the way of thinking and whatever the knowledge they have, if they are approaching in the same way, they might get same, but mostly the students gonna get it as a different questions here. And how the computer adaptive test works, as we can see that exam content and the difficulty is customized to the individual test takers. When a test taker answers a question correctly, they will be given more difficult content. It doesn't mean that more difficult question. They are saying more difficult content. It means, let's take if you answer the first question correct, if you require the more knowledge of the subject to answer into the second as compared to the third one. So like every time the content of that question becomes more harder and harder. It doesn't mean that question is gonna harder. If you have a well basic and the well idea about that subject, all questions seems to be easy. So this is what it happens. But in case if the student gets anywhere wrong answering to that particular question, then computer sends the next question to you will be the which has the less difficult as compared to the previous. So this changing of that question, what to come next, it will every time it will be randomized and computerized. That's the reason if you enter into a particular section of that EmSAT, whatever the time you use, maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes and so on, you have only that much time to answer to the question. Think it, apply logical, apply whatever the concept you have, try to answer to the question. After answering to that question, if you go to the next section, even though your answer is right or wrong, the question is already generated based on that. So you can't come back and edit it again. Sometimes it happens with the students. They answered it correctly, but in hurry or unfortunately, they mark a wrong choice. So in that case, computer assumes that, okay, person don't know, then accordingly, based on considering that question as wrong, next question is going to be easier than that. So you have to be very careful while choosing the options, because you don't have a come and edit it. Paper-based tests and all, you can modify it whenever you want, but here it is not. Once you answered and move next, that's finished. You can't go back again and you can change it. That's what the computer adaptive test works. All right, then EmSAT is conducted by the Ministry of Education. That's what we know. As per the UAE only, the test will be conducted. Then what are the main objectives of the EmSAT? Why that EmSAT has been introduced in the UAE? Because accordingly, EmSAT has introduced in the UAE since like year 2017. Before that, government universities and the private universities used to take admissions to the students based on their English language proficiency, either IELTS or a TOEFL. Accordingly, what major students take into the university, let's take somebody is going for engineering, they used to take their own entrance test. Somebody is going for medicine, they used to take their own entrance test. Different university has different format of entrance exam and getting admissions to that. Then ministry had planned considering, okay, so this we can, instead of having a different university as a different test pattern and something, they made it as a common and they made it as an EmSAT. And that is the main objective of that EmSAT test here is to ensure the students are equipped with the necessary knowledge and the skills to effectively participate in the modern knowledge based global society. It's mainly a knowledge assessment test. Whatever the knowledge you have developed throughout your schooling, grade 8, 9, 10, 11, how much knowledge you have gained and how you apply and how you can involve that knowledge with the globally and including the society. That is the main objective what the EmSAT has included. And what are the importance of EmSAT along with that objective? So EmSAT has like a lot more important. The first one is it specifies the students' performance level nationally and internationally. So it specifies the students' performance level nationally and internationally. This is the first importance. EmSAT supports the Ministry of Education in evaluating the government and the private schools' performances. How the schools and how the students in the schools are performing in their school levels, that is also predicted by the Ministry of Education from the government and the private schools. That is another importance of conducting EmSAT by ministry. And the third point, alternatives of other higher education's entry test. As I mentioned before, different universities and colleges used to conduct like different tests, but now every college, whether it is a government or the private institutions, colleges or universities in the UAE, they conduct that EmSAT exam as a common. They don't have them specific their individual tests. So that is like, alternative of the higher education system entry to all the universities. This is the another importance. Next, measure the students' performance improvement over the time. What is the improvement with this individual student in particular subject, and based on, because whatever the EmSAT they conduct, so based on that one they measures the individual students' performances and all, but just by maintaining the record of the data. That is the reason they made everybody has to appear for the EmSAT exam. So everybody, whether it is the Emirati or a non-Emirati student, they whoever are studying in the UAE, especially the ministry curriculum, they have to appear for the test. They just want to check out the measure the progress of the particular student. And it also helps for the higher management to take the decisions to improve the educational system. They just perform the record of the previous, like, the conducted tests and the students and all. They just check it out. Is there any modification with the system, educational system, in a subject or in the syllabus? If they have to be done, that all will be predicted based on the EmSAT exam. So that is what the importance is. Now let's talk about the advantages of the EmSAT. The first and the most important advantage here is EmSAT provides you the equivalence certificate from the Ministry of Education. Whoever the student, whether Emirati or non-Emirati, he has to appear. There are set of mandatory tests you have to appear. After appearing the test, then only you will be getting your grade 12 certificate. Even though you already graduated and you already have taken your grade 12 certificate, unless and until you appear for the EmSAT test and show the some particular score, university and the colleges will not gonna accept it. So this is what the importance of the advantages of the EmSAT. And the secondly here, to get admissions to the either the government and a private universities or colleges in the UAE, you have to take the EmSAT. And the third application advantage here is getting a better score in the EmSAT helps students to avail a scholarship. Yes, every university, if the students are getting like, there is a certain limit, there is a certain, the boundary score, the minimum score what every student has to get. So if the students are getting higher than the minimum score, they have a chance to get a 20%, 30%, even 50% scholarship based on the what subject they are choosing, based on the how much score they gained in EmSAT. So this is another and the most important advantage I would say with the EmSAT. And even though some students who have already graduated, they are in their first year of university or in the second year of university, when they are applying for the scholarship program through the university is asking them produce a EmSAT score. So now then students are registering their EmSAT, they are getting the score, whatever the score they expect. Accordingly, if they achieve, they get the score, they will get the scholarship. If they not, they will not. So this is how another advantage of EmSAT exam to get a scholarship. And EmSAT exam scores are also used for the government jobs in the UAE. Now it has already started. The students who have already graduated and all, if they want to go to the particular government jobs, maybe some government school or any government administrative relevant office, they, along with their interviews, along with their all the GPAs, grades and all, government also started asking about the EmSAT exam score. Especially if you are going something, let's take administrative relevant jobs, they're gonna ask you your EmSAT exam in EmSAT English. And if you are going to some the engineering relevant stuffs, they will ask you EmSAT exam score in maths and physics. They already started asking, because many I get inquiries from the many students that I'm applying for this government job. I have finished my interviews, I have completed all my process, I'm just waiting for my EmSAT score to submit. Once it gets submitted, I will be accepted. So it means this is like very important. Along with the scholarship, universities and all, you can also have an EmSAT score will be used for the government jobs in the UAE. This is the most advantages of the EmSAT exams. Now let's check about the what are the EmSAT test specification. As we know that EmSAT test for the Emirati students, and it is also for the non-Emirati students. If I'm talking about the Emirati students, which are the subjects they can take and which are the subjects as an optional. So we can see that for all the Emirati students, they must take Arabic, English, mathematics, and the physics as the mandatory. As they mentioned, the ministry has mentioned that Arabic, English, mathematics, and the physics are the compulsory for general and the advanced track, a general track, and the chemistry is for the advanced. So let's take if you are going for some medicine or a chemistry related subject, you have to take along with this, you have to take the chemistry as well. And if you are going for the medicine, along with these are the depends on the university specialization. You are going with particular course, along with this course, university may also ask you about the biology. They may also ask you about the computer science. It depends on the university. Let's take example. If I'm talking about University of Sharjah, and the person who is going into pharmacy or a person who is going into medical, they are asking them to produce a score of Arabic, English, mathematics, chemistry, and biology. The person who is going for medicine, physics is exceptional for them because they have nothing to do with physics. But you have to produce the score of Arabic, English, mathematics. These are the compulsory along with the chemistry and the biology. And if you want to go to the engineering, let's take if you are planning to go in the same university with a mechanical engineering or electrical engineering, apart from this chemistry and biology, you have to take Arabic, English, mathematics, and the physics as a mandatory. These are the course depends on the what professions you're gonna choose in your university. Accordingly, they demand it for this course. And where all can these exams will be conducted? These exams will be conducted by the school, all the public and the private school. These are the some set of registered school with the ministry. Those school will be conducting the EmSAT exams according to the timing and the requirement of the students. And this is what the test specification for the Emirati. Now, if I'm looking for the non-Emirati grade 12 students, again it is similar. For non-Emirati students, whoever wants to study or to get an equivalent certificate from the ministry, they have to appear for the Arabic, English, mathematics, physics, and chemistry. Here they made 5 subjects as compulsory. Of course, this is the condition by the ministry, but this condition could also be decided by the particular college, because they may not expect all that. If you want to study in the government universities, you have to take this all the 5 subjects, as this is the rule by ministry. But if you are a non-Emirati student, and if you want to study in the private universities, these 3 are the compulsory. Whether you choose it as a physics or a chemistry, along with optional biology or computer science. It depends on the what course you are preferring, and it depends on the what you're gonna study in your higher education. Accordingly, you have to decide. Actually, university will decide. So, okay, if you want to go to this particular course, you have to take these are the tests and all. Accordingly, decide it, and you will be appearing for the test. So, as they have mentioned for the compulsory, for the students who are studying the Ministry of Education curriculum, and who all the can be conducted international curriculum, If the student will study in a public or the private universities, they can also be study. Whoever that person is studying international, maybe British curriculum or American curriculum, but if he wants to study in the UAE, he has to appear for the test. So this is what the test specification for the non-Emirati students. Yes, so that recently it has been mentioned that exam dates for the year 2021 and the 2022 has been announced for the students. If I'm talking about the exam dates for the students who are already in grade 12, these are the dates for the students who are already in grade 12. Now they have started their grade 12. The recent and the very first exam which gonna started from the 16th of October. Then it will be like a 30th of October, then 20th of November, and then 27th. These are the dates for the year 2021, and day and the timings will be decided. The days, all days are the Saturday. The timings you can choose any timing from the 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the evening. So there will be 4 slots are available to choose. One is become 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and another one is going to be 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Then it's available 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. is the third slot, and 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. is the fourth slot. So this is how all the exams we will be going with you. There are like, on the same day you have the 4 options. You want to go the morning one, or afternoon or evening, you can decide while booking the test. So you can decide whether whichever the slot you want to go. And these are the dates for the grade 12 students who are appearing for the EmSAT exam and these are the dates for the year 2022. And after completing like by November, the next exam will be conducted in the year. There is no exams for the regular students in the December. It will be starting for the next year, that is 2022 January onwards, and it will go last till the 25th of July. But when I'm talking about the students who have already graduated, most of the students have already graduated and they are just looking for that equivalent certificate or to get admission. These are the dates for them. So as we have already done with all this, 6th of September, it already has gone. So now you can see that these are the next dates available for you guys to take the exam. So then how do we can register and how do we can do all things? You need to contact to the ministry only via email or via phone, whatever the contact address they have given to you. You have to send them an email, and that will, according to the what subject you want to take, they will give you, and which university you are planning to apply. If you mention everything, the what subject you are looking for, which university you are looking for, everything if you mention and send an email to them, they're gonna consider it, and whenever there is a date available to relevant to that subject, and they will send you the available date and available center details and the available timings. They will respond you to through email or through the mobile number which you have registered. According, maybe a week or 10-12 days prior to the exam, you have to do all your adjustment according to that, and you can appear for the test. These are all exam dates for the already graduated student. Not only this, there are other dates are available. That is, it will be like in the January also there. Till 27th of June, you have a time to appear. It depends whether you want to complete it like a soon or after, or you are taking break. You are, some student after completing the graduation, they go for the military services. Some student, they just go for the higher studies with them. Accordingly, you have a flexibility time according to the subject and all. When you want to take, you can appear already graduated students. These are the dates which are nearest dates available for all the EmSAT exams. Now question comes about how do we register for the test? As we know that the registration for the EmSAT is not straightforward like how the SAT, ACT, and the other competitive internationally based exams. Here they have put some restrictions to it. So you can register through, if you are a grade 12 student already studying in the grade 12, you can register through only your school coordinator. You have to give your Emirates ID detailed with to the school coordinator. School coordinator will register for you. According to the details what you have provided, they will share you the link through the email or mobile number what you have registered here, and based on that email and mobile number, now you have a user ID and the password to access which exam you want to take when. Accordingly, you can select the test based on your priority, based on the requirement of the university what you are looking, and you can appear the test. So this is what we can register for the grade 12 students. If you are already, you have graduated and you have completed already your graduation, then you have to register through the, as they have mentioned, contact to the institution coordinator to register your email address. You can approach to the any school, government school, or you can approach to the any institute. Let's say you are applying to particular university, you can approach directly to that university coordinator asking to register for that exam. But before all, you have to decide where you are taking, what courses you are taking. Accordingly, then only the university coordinators can help you out. You can also register that through the school coordinator by appearing to that. If not, you have to directly visit to the some center. You have to directly visit to the some center. Okay. Just a second. If not, you have to directly visit to the some center with they are mentioning customer happiness center. You can visit whether to the Abu Dhabi or you can Dubai, Ajman, whichever. Carry your Emirates ID, register all your details. They will fill it out, and then after a link will be sent to you via your email or the registered mobile number. Accordingly, you can schedule your exams based on the whatever the dates available. So this is what we're gonna talk about the how do we register for the EmSAT exam, EmSAT tests. Yes, now comes in the many students' mind, what is the EmSAT passing score? That like, you know, if I'm registering, if I'm expecting, how do I pass it? What is the EmSAT passing score? How much I should expect? According to the ministry, there is nothing called a pass or fail for the EmSAT exam. EmSAT exam just assesses the student's skills and the knowledge in the particular subject. Based on it, it assigns you some certification. So let's take if you are getting some score, if you are falling in the certain range, they will give, okay, this student is good with the basics of algebra, then he can directly enter to the first year of university program. Something mentioning in that they will give you a certification, but there is nothing called a pass or a fail for that EmSAT exam. For example, and whatever the score you are getting, that score is also decided by the university. Different university has different requirement about the score. So, and let me say what actually the kind of certification you're gonna get. Let's say here I have just taken as a sample, as an example for the EmSAT Achieve Math. So what it is proposing here is, if a student is falling in this range, let's take a 1750 to 2000 as the score, then you will be issuing a certificate mentioning that a student at this level has a demonstrated sufficient mastery of higher level algebra and geometry and basic calculus to be considered for entry into a second calculus course. If you are getting into this range, no need to do a foundation course at the university. You can directly go to the higher level courses, so that getting a better score in EmSAT will also save some time. So no need of going the foundation course, whatever you have already studied at the school level. If you are not getting the score, whatever they are looking, it means then you have to restart with whatever you have learned in the school. They give you the foundation course based on the subject what you are taking. Accordingly, once you pass that foundation level, then only they'll enter into the higher level courses, otherwise not. So that is why getting a better score in the EmSAT, you can also save some time of your graduation. And another thing, as I said, you can avail a very good scholarship. That all are the, like, there are many more advantages to get the higher score in EmSAT. And if, let's take an example, as like some student comes up with the requirement that we are not able to get it like a score whatever they are asking. So the minimum score, if to get eligible for the foundation course also, the minimum score you must get in the EmSAT exam here is 500. If you are getting the EmSAT, I'm talking about the EmSAT math, and if you are getting the score lesser than 500 in EmSAT math, because this boundary will be having different. Almost all the subject will be having minimum as 500. So if you are getting lesser than that, then you are not eligible for the any university program. You will be, they will ask you at least 500 to get adjusted on based on the conditional in the sense, now they will get accept you if you are getting the score more than 500, but mandatorily you have to do the foundation course at the university level. That is what. So if you are getting lesser than 500, you are not at all eligible for the university, they say, and they allow you to retake that exam, and as long as you get that score, then only you can apply. If not, you can't apply. This is what the condition by the ministry, and this is the condition by the all the universities in the EmSAT, like which are looking with the EmSAT. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about EmSAT score requirement for the university. As I already mentioned, different university has the different requirement for the EmSAT score. So I can't say that all the university requires the minimum is this, maximum is this. It's depend. So if I'm talking about, let's say, if I'm talking about the Khalifa University Abu Dhabi, this is what I got from the Khalifa University requirement website. They say students, whoever wants to study at the Khalifa University, the minimum score of achievement in each of the following EmSAT subject, the minimum you must have 1000 in EmSAT math, 800 in physics, 700 in Arabic, and 1000 250 in English. If you are getting that minimum score here, then the student will be conditionally accepted into the foundation program. Just to get entered into the foundation program at the University of Khalifa University, you have to get these scores for mandatorily. If you are getting lesser than that, you are not eligible to apply to that university. This is what their minimum requirement. If you are talking about the maximum requirement, minimum requirement for directly without going to the foundation, this is for the foundation requirement. If you would want to skip this foundation year, then the minimum requirement for that is in the math, you have to have 1250 as a minimum to skip the foundation course at the beginning. You have to have physics as 800, Arabic 700, and English as 1400. These are the minimum score. If you are getting even better than that, you have a better opportunity to, as I said, getting a better scholarship, and there are a lot more advantages. Whatever the score you're gonna get, that certification, it will be stay with you for the the longer time. So after completing your graduation, that also helpful for you to get an admission, get a jobs, top positional jobs in the particular field. So that all EmSAT, student needs to understand the importance of EmSAT, because it's just not like I'm getting admission to the university. This is also an entry to your future. If you are getting the better score, you will be having very high the career. If you are just looking, okay, I just want to get pass and get admission, so that's like you can get entered, but still you have to the maintain very high GPAs and all in the university. You already have here along with that university, of course, whoever at the higher level, people or recruiters and all, they always check out all the conditions. What is your EmSAT score, how good you are in university, and what is your other activities. Everything will be considered, and based on that they will give you the opportunities. You are very good in one field and you are not in the another, means they won't be considering it, because you have to be equally in all. So that is only they can, just most of the companies and all. So that is EmSAT exam, and the scores are also really important for the after completing your graduation as well. Okay, now comes how to prepare for the EmSAT. As we know that this is the most challenging question what every student comes with. I know the importance of EmSAT exam. I know what are the things I require to get admission, but question comes how do I start? How do we prepare for that exam? So let me tell you, there is no particular rule or the conditions for the preparing. So, but I can list, I have listed the few based on the priorities. So whenever you are thinking about the preparing for the EmSAT exam, first decide you do the like you will be doing a lot of researches by calling to the ministry, by calling to the university, by checking out what are the course you are planning to that. Accordingly, university will guide you. Along with the mandatory courses, you have to take so and so courses to get admission into this particular course. So you have to decide which are the subject or subjects you would like to take for the exam. You have to decide it first. If you are in the confusing dilemma, should I take physics or should I take chemistry or biology, that's not gonna help you, because if you are very clear about what you are gonna do, then you have a clear mind what to do next. So you have to decide first what are the subjects you are planning to take, and then second comes it like collect the resources relevant to the subject, such as syllabus, sample papers, course material, and etc. As we know that as per the ministry, there are very limited resources are available. They are providing just the sample syllabus with one or two sample papers. And what we gonna do then? So MSAT is a generalized test. It is not focusing mainly on the like whatever only grade 11 or grade 12 or something. It focusing on what all the student have studied from grade 8 to grade 12, and mainly on the fundamentals, mainly on the basics. So now by considering, what you can do is whatever the subject you guys have studied, I'm not telling you to go in detail about the grade 8 to grade 12, but you already know whatever the subject you guys have studied. If you just brief about like taking the books from your siblings, by taking the books from your cousins or whoever have already taken the MSAT exams, they might also have some of the material available. Contact to the students or your friends or your seniors who has already taken that exam. Accordingly, try to collect the sample papers, course material, and the relevant information related with the subject what you are planning to. Because there is no particular books or material are available by the ministry, so you have to make your own way of finding the resources. And how do we find it? Let me tell you how do we find it. As I know that in the syllabus they have mentioned about the which are the topics and all. Let's take, I'm talking about the algebra. Let's take, I'm talking about the MSAT math, and that is the algebra. And there is an algebra, there is a something called system of equation. Let's take an example. System of equation is the one topic. Now how do I find the resources there? So whether it is MSAT system of equation or a SAT system of equation or any specialized school curriculum system of equation is a general topic. So you just search in the Google by typing the topic name system of equation. You'll be getting all the detailed information with the practice questions, the easier level, medium level, harder level. Similarly, you can collect all the types of questions, all the material topic wise, and you can make your bunch setup material and keep studying like regularly. Then definitely they're gonna help you to like achieve a very good score in the first attempts itself. This is how you can collect the sample questions, sample papers, course material, whichever the subject you are talking it. Just type the course name in the Google, you'll be getting the relevant topic, study it, and sure exam they're gonna ask you on the same topic. As I said, system of equation is same for all, whether I'm talking about MSAT, SAT, or any other courses. If you have a good idea about what it is, how it works, what is value of X, Y, and Y, how do I find, enough. Just you need to apply the techniques and the strategies, get it out. The best part here is most of the formula required for the math will be provided by the examiners, and also the calculators are allowed to us. You have to work it out the most quicker and the shortest technique to solve the particular question, because MSAT exams are not looking like the how you are solving the question. They are not looking on the steps. They are not at all looking on the steps. They are just looking on what you are selecting out of ABCD, and that is what matters. So as it's a time based test, you should not necessary to go in the same way, like step, let x is equals to something, y is equals to something, assigning and all that. All calculation you have to do it in the mind, just to like save your time. So in that case, you have to be very thorough with the concept. If you are thorough, then only you can do it. If you are just studying, let's say I can study only once or twice and I can go to the exam and I can get the higher score, it is impossible, because these exams are not like a school exams. They are completely depending upon what knowledge you have about the subject. In the school, teacher gives us, let's say we are talking one topic, teacher gives you 8 to 10 questions of the same type. Do one question, two question, three question. You got familiar. Okay, all questions are same pattern. I'll be just replacing the x and y with some number. But here, no. You have to understand. You have to understand clearly. Apply that. Then only you can get the question. That is what the challenges most students face. They have. If you have a good idea, there is a difference between understanding and there is difference between the by hearting. Mostly students in the school, they by heart simple pattern, just by hearted, yes, fit it in the mind, I will then. If I just replace something with other, this they are not able to solve. But if you are understanding the logic, if you are understanding the concept, whether I'm replacing x y with a and b, it doesn't matter. You have to apply and you have to solve it. So that is what we need to learn. This is the way of collecting the information and the learning the things. The third point is make a study plan and stick to your schedule. Whatever, as you have, after collecting the information and all, whatever the schedule you have decided, you clearly know, okay, on that October 16, I am appearing for this EmSAT exam. You have clear mindset. Now collect the resources, try to study regularly. So definitely it will help you to get a very good score, because they are not going beyond the what you guys have learned so far. It's nothing new. They are just asking you the basics and all, but in a very the logical way. So you have to have it is and have a regular practice of that particular subject what we are talking. And also take a break the night before the exam. Some student, what they do, I get surprised from the student that saying that they will be having exam tomorrow and they call me today night or the today afternoon. They saying that I have exam tomorrow, I need a class and I have to pass. In that case, I usually say I am not a something like the genie or something like a magic person, so that I can help you just in one or two classes to make you pass. Impossible. So to get a pass and to get a higher score, you guys have to study like at least a month. 15 days to month is the best time for studying. So spend some time this, because gaining a knowledge is not something like a logic. It requires a lot of time and your patience to understand. Understood the concept, then done. So, and it is not, I can't understand everything in like a one night or 1 or 2 days. So keep it in mind. If you are really interested to get a very good score, try to prepare for the exam at the earliest. Don't just be lazy and avoid the unnecessary things. So just focus on the what part we have to do, accordingly you can make out. And then try not to get stressed out. That is what happens with mostly students. They are just studying like 1 or 2 days prior to the exam, same like what we do for the school exams, and they just get stressed out. I do get a questions midnight, like a 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock on my a YouTube channel, saying that I'm getting this doubt, I'm getting difficulty, tomorrow morning I have exams and so on. I completely helpless, because you are stressed out now, because you have not studied in the beginning. Make a proper plan, study it, and then if you go step by step, whatever you decide, then nobody can stop you to get a better score, and that is how you can pass the exam. That is what we can follow all the techniques and the steps to prepare for the exams. Now let's come to our institution. So now we provide a preparation for, these are the following subjects what we offer for the training preparation. We offer for the EmSAT English, math, physics, biology, and the EmSAT chemistry. These are the subjects what we offer for that. And what are now question comes, okay, we already know what are subjects and all, and why should I come to your institution? So what is the purpose? So why we are the coming over here? So we have a certain advantages as compared to the students. What we say, before starting any course, whether you are taking for EmSAT math or English or whatever, we will be taking an assessment test. That's what we say, we will be taking a diagnostic test. The diagnostic test will help us to understand the student's present skill and a subject knowledge. If I'm taking a diagnostic test by knowing that in which way he's answering the question, how many questions he got right and wrong, I'll be knowing, okay, this particular student is going wrong with algebra, this guy is wrong with geometry. So it will be, we can help out by pinpointing their whatever the difficult topics and all they have. So that is just helps us to understand the students better, so that we can help them in a better way to understand the subject. That is the first thing what we do. And second, we do provide an online and in-person training as per the students convenience. So somebody who are like staying like far away, like away, that is Abu Dhabi or Alain, such students, they do take online courses. And even though you are staying nearby, but if you don't want to take in person, if you want to take online, we say we do provide that one. We have a flexibilities. And the third point is, whatever the syllabus has been mentioned by the ministry, we will be covering that as an in-depth coverage of the test syllabus, subject wise, whether I'm talking for the math, English, physics, chemistry, whatever, as per the syllabus, each and every point we will be considering. And based on the each and every point, we will be solving the certain set of questions in that. So whenever we are talking about the particular question, a particular topic, it is not necessary that whatever the question I'm giving you, the same thing come in exam. No, we will make you to understand the concept by asking you variety of questions, by giving you variety of examples, and so on. And also, apart from that, once we're done with the course, we will be conducting a computerized mock test. This test will be same as your real EmSAT exam, and this will help us help students to get adjusted to the how will be the main EmSAT exam will be before. Now if you are just doing the practices and on the paper, and you are just no comfortable, but as you enter into the exam hall, your exam is a computer based, so you don't know what to do. You don't know, like you will be getting nervous, and you will be having something like the panicking, and those kind of stuff will start. That is the natural. So before to entering into that, what we do is we make sure that whatever the things we're gonna teach, we will be making sure that giving the similar way of the how the computer exam will be conducted, considering like how we can appear for the test and solve. This is like I have just included the sample. How do we do the computerized exam? So this is how what we follow. So if I'm mentioning over here, so this is what, like as per the sample, what I can see here is, I just want to show you like how it works. So if I just copy, just a second, okay? I'll be showing how we conduct that online mock tests and so on. If this is like, you can practice on our website. It is already available if you want to do the practice. So we just conduct the test in the same way like how the ministry exam conduct. So this is just as an sample which you have included. We will be giving a unique code to the every particular student, and now that exam starts. So now look at here what it is saying, that the exams will be starting here, considering that timings and all. Here we have included only just for the 25 minutes, and now question comes up. So read the question, apply your logic, solve it. After solving that question, choose any answer, you go next. And if you choose any answer, like after solving, you go next. So as you keep doing, so what happens at the end, I'm just doing here as a randomly, just to show how it works. If you will be having a time to answer into the question. So we choose the question, we answer it, and we go to the next randomly, whatever we are answering. After that, after completing the test, we will be checking it like how many questions you guys have answered correct, how many questions you have answered incorrectly. So just by knowing that, see, I have finished it now. When I click to the my result, it will show which are the questions gone wrong, what was the right choice, and why it gone wrong. So we will be explaining you, saying that okay, this was the question, you answered wrong, so this is the formula. Average speed is total distance by total time. I will be taking distance, I'll be taking time, I will be doing something calculation and all, so that all explanation will be given. So when the students, they do this kind of practices before entering into the test, they feel very comfortable, as they already know the pattern and everything, like how exam works. So you go relaxedly, enter your user ID, password, and start in the same way like as you already have done that. So that will make like most of the student advantages to studying with us, which will make us to like learn all the techniques and how the exam works. That's what we follow. And another thing is, we will be covering up, as I said, the subject wise, we will be solving over 300 plus different types of questions based on the topics, so that it will help like students to prepare in the all the way, whether from the very easy to intermediate to harder type of question, that all the types will be solved. And another thing, advantages of studying here with is, whatever the professions are, whatever the teachers we have, they are highly experienced and the professionals. On an average, we have over the 10 plus years of teaching experience, and the students professors are very well known of the whatever the subject knowledge particular they are teaching us. So that will really helpful for the students to get better score. And definitely we will be giving some technique, some strategies and a quicker way of solving that will help you this every students to ace the EmSAT exam in the first appearance. That is what we follow. And we do provide the private training and the small groups based on the students' needs and the when they have exams, whether they are a personalized one-to-one training or they can study in the small group, that all flexibilities are there. So we do any questions or something to ask, we can ask. We have 5 minutes left, so I can help out with that. Anybody has any questions, you can ask now.
Hello, Srikan.
Yes.
First of all, I really appreciate your presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Because as you know, EmSAT is like a puzzle for us.
Yeah, yes.
So now you solve the puzzle. And I really appreciate that the way you take care of the students. You just don't give just a lecture and
no. I just
and bye Marsalama. No, you ask students how was the test was, how you did, And number 3, I really appreciate that mock test. Mock test is really important, and you're covering more than 300 questions. So students should feel comfortable when they go to test, because he has all the tools in his brain. He can use it. So I really appreciate that your initiative that you did today.
Thank you.
Good for the students. Good. But one question here is, EmSAT is going. You said is going to be all university in UAE.
Yes. Because this rule has been made recently. Before, it was just like some selective universities used to take. Hardly up before like 3 to 4 months, the government has made a mandatory rule for like every student, every university, whether the government or the private or international, they have to take the students through EmSAT. It is mandatory.
How about the private universities?
Private universities also, sir. You have to, even though you are going to the private university, you have to take that EmSAT exams. Though you have to contact directly to those university where you are planning to, they will guide you which are the subjects you can take to get admission into their institutes. You have.
Okay, how about the SAT 1?
SAT 1, yes, it's a generalized. SAT 1, again, as I told, it depends on the university. Whether, let's take which university you are going, what they are expecting you to do. You have some university have a choice. Whether you are coming to us through EmSAT, welcome. If you want to come through SAT, welcome. But now they will decide which one to take, and both of you have a choice now, whether EmSAT or the SAT. And now they will just only tell you, if you want to come in through SAT, bring this much score in math, this much score in English. Finished. If you want to go through EmSAT, bring this much score in particular subject what they ask. If you are able to get it, you are eligible. If not, they will tell you to reappear for the test, and they will tell you to keep doing till you get the score what they are looking.
Okay. The question related to my son. He's graduated from the American syllabus.
Yeah. Okay. American syllabus.
So when he goes to the government university, so they said, hey, you have to equivalent this certificate. You know what's the meaning equivalent the certificate?
Yeah.
So I went to the Ministry of Education. They equivalent everything. They said, hey, to equalize your son high school certificate, since it is from American syllabus, you have to give EmSAT. My son went to the EmSAT in English. He got 1,250 instead of 1,100. Now left math. Now he has to go to EmSAT math to satisfy Ministry of Education.
Yes.
To equivalent that is. Now my question here: if he goes to SAT 1, SAT 1 include 2 things: English and math, right?
Yeah.
Not. Can he take only math? SAT 1?
Sir, that is what I said. That is depends on the university. I am not the right person to say only math or only English. So this university will decide, okay, you want to take only math, take only math. So
So
it is up to them. So I can't make exactly what they need.
So SAT has an option that you can take either one, either math or
No.
English.
SAT has an option. You have to take both math and English. You don't have any option to taking only math or only English. If you are appearing for the SAT 1, it has a both math and English syllabus. Now, why I'm saying like this is, some student, they have already got their English EmSAT score. They are not bothering about how much they get it in SAT English. They are only focusing on the SAT math. In that case, even though they are appearing for the both the section English and math, English section they do random because they are unprepared or because they are not bothering out. But the math section they have to do like seriously by considering their score requirement and all. So you have to appear for the both. There is no particular that only English or only math. SAT 1 has both the section. You have to appear for the both.
Okay, it's clear now.
Yeah. All right, sir. Then thank you so much for appearing here. And it was, I hope that this is helpful for understanding how EmSAT works.
Okay, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Srikant.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Same to
Bye-bye.
you. Same to you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.